Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel today. I am going to show you some fun brand new products from Arden Creative. So there are a number of new scrapbook lines coming out in the next little bit here that are so perfect for heritage layouts, vintage layouts, my ancestry project, all of those things. This is one of those lines. It is from Arden Creative. It is called Remembering. I have the 12 by 12 paper pad, the rub-ons, and the ephemera from the collection. There are also a couple of gorgeous stamp sets, and there's some alphabet stickers as well. So I don't have all of the collection. I just have those three things. There's also an 8 by 8 paper pad too. So I'm showing you the 12 by 12 paper pad, all the different designs, and I will go ahead and I will link this collection up in the description box so that you can get some if you like. And then as the other lines make it to cherry on top, I will for sure 100% be getting them and sharing them with you as well. I know that many of you scrapbook or come to my channel for heritage projects. Those projects are going to be in abundance with all these gorgeous new products and scrapbook lines that are coming out. So from the Remembering paper pad, I am going to take these 3 12 by 12 papers. Actually 4. I'm going to use them in different ways. We're going to use that clock paper as our background. I love that paper. There are a couple papers in this collection that I truly love, and that clock paper is absolutely 100% one of them. So I'm going to go through the die cut packs. Now, this ephemera pack is one of those ephemeras that has big white borders. And at one point during the course of this layout, you're going to see me cut off all of those big white borders. So I've gone through all the ephemera. I put the pieces that I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to use on my layout into that little dish. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I am going to use this clock as paper as my background. I just think it's so pretty. And then I'm going to go ahead and gallery map my photo first, which basically means that the first layer, this light teal paper, is a 1/4 inch wider than my photograph. The next paper, which is going to be that deep dark chocolate brown, is going to be a 1/2 inch larger than my photograph. And then the third layer is going to be a 1/4 inch. And every layer that I'm going to add, I'm going to rough up the edges with the edge of my scissors, and then I am going to use my Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink to add just a little bit of ink to the edges. This gallery mat technique is my favorite technique for matting heritage or more formal photographs. So photographs where I want to get that, or scrapbook layouts where I have a more formal look to the page or more vintage look. I don't know what it is about that type of matting, but I absolutely love it. So I am going to create my own journaling box here. I have this piece of ephemera that is a frame. And the first thing that I'm going to do to kind of create my own journaling block is I'm going to take a pencil and I'm just going to very lightly trace the inside edge of that frame. Then I'm going to use my T-square ruler and very, very lightly draw myself some guidelines that I can use to write my journaling on. So I have journaling to tell for this particular photograph, and I'm not sure how much room I'm going to take, but I'm going to draw lines that would pretty much fill the entire inside of this frame. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my black gel pen. I went ahead and did my journaling using the lines from the pencil that I made. I'm going to ink up the outside of the frame with Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink, and then I'm going to go ahead and erase all of the frame marks and pencil marks with the sand eraser. Before I go ahead and add the frame down to my journaling, I want to use some of these fun rub-ons and do some of the rub-ons so that when the layout is done, it'll appear like the rub-ons are coming out from behind the frame. I hope that makes sense. You'll see it here in a minute. On this completed layout, I used one entire sheet of rub-ons. So there are 4 sheets of rub-ons on this 4 sheets of rub-ons in the pack. I'm going to use just 1 sheet of those rub-ons. I'm going to use the one that has all of the the painterly inked areas, and I end up using all of them. Initially, I had planned on just using the teal ones to accent the teal that I used to map my photo with, but it turned out that they are really, really good rub-ons, and they looked really cool once I started building the rest of the page out, so I used them all. So there's my journaling and my page all in place. I want to use this remembering title piece. The ephemera pack that comes in this collection has lots of different family members' names on it, which I love for my ancestry project. I actually, as I was looking at all the names, I'm like, oh, I have a photo I can add to my ancestry project for this. Oh, I have a photo I can add to my ancestry book for that. So that will be coming for sure. More of that little small project. See how the rest of my week goes. Maybe you'll even get it Sunday. I'm going to put my title up in the upper right-hand corner. So that's why I add the journaling or added that larger rub-on there. And you can see I'm cutting the rub-ons apart. I'm cutting the rub-ons into pieces. I'm tucking them into different spots so they're kind of layered on top of each other. And I'm also thinking about the page design. Where do I think I want a cluster? Where do I think I want some embellishment? Where do I think I need a little bit extra interest? Because remember, these are kind of like the bottom layer of what will become the finished clusters for this layout. So I'm just kind of thinking about all of that as I place the rub-ons in different areas. So the clock motif that's on the background of this page is going to come into play in the embellishments. It also is very appropriate when you take in the journaling that is on my layout. My journaling is about the passage of time, and I'm talking about this particular photograph. So I'm going to go ahead and use the kind of that clock motif. I'm also going to use the little buttons and a couple other things to create my clusters. I'm going to ink up my title. It looks a little too bright and white, as does all of these ephemera pieces. So I took the time to go ahead and pick up each of these ephemera pieces, the buttons, and also the clocks, all of them. I trimmed off all of the white edges of each of the die cuts and then inked each of the die cuts up with the Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink. And yes, it took a little bit of time, and no, I don't regret it at all, because if you kind of go back and look at the before and the after, you can see how much better it looks without those white borders. Now I'm just going to go ahead and adhere all of the ephemera pieces down in the different areas that I want, that I had them initially, where I had them kind of as a, what do you want to call it? Like where I had them auditioned. I'm just going to adhere them all down in those places now. I wanted to add some things onto my layout that were not paper, that were a little bit more dimensional. So I went through my flare stash from Scrap and Happy Studio, and I chose a couple of kind of vintage canvas flares that said things that worked with my photograph. So I'm going to choose 3 of them. They're very kind of grungy. They're still within that little bit of color, the color story we have. So the teals, the aquas, the browns, and then the warmer kind of vintagey tones. So I am going to go ahead. I chose 3, and I'm going to add 3 to the layout. Kind of move them around a little bit. And there is a lot of space in this layout. This is kind of a more kind of open vintage layout. I only have 1 photograph, so I have room for some of these more dimensional, kind of larger embellishments on my page. Taking a look at my finished page and my finished layout, I decided I wanted 1 more little cluster. I felt like that upper left-hand corner was feeling a little sad and lonely. So I'm going to go ahead, grab a couple more ephemera pieces, trim off the bright white borders, and add them to that upper left-hand corner around my photograph. And then here is where I end up using the last 2 rub-ons from that old one sheet. I'm going to add 1 behind this ephemera corner here, and then I'm going to add the other one down to the bottom underneath my journaling, just to fill in that little corner. I filled in the top corner, so I felt like I needed to fill in the bottom corner as well. And I'm much more happy with some of those little extra pieces. Now I'm kind of looking at my layout, it's saying to myself, it really needs a little bit of gold. And it does, don't you think? Don't you think it needs that like splattery, kind of shimmery gold that just will finish it off perfectly? So I'm going to go with my hands down 100% favorite way to do gold splatter. I'm going to take some gilded aqua pigment from Brutus Monroe and a fan brush, add a little water so that I have the right consistency to do some good splattering. And I am going to splatter all around all of these different clusters. And while it might be a little hard to see on camera, in real life, this was the most perfect added detail to the page, and I absolutely love it. If you've been missing the heritage layouts on my channel, they are going to be coming super soon. I'm so excited to create more layouts with this collection, as well as some of the other collections that are on their way into a cherry on top that are coming. I cannot wait. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.